Christmas has just passed, and I'm sure a box like this has been under a few trees. Or if you're watching this in June, maybe it was your birthday. Or a regular Wednesday, and you're just like, hey, I've survived the last couple of years. I deserve a present. Whatever it is, have fun with your Cricut. But what to do with the empty box? I'm Anna, and instead of throwing out my box, I'm upcycling it. The box is pretty sturdy and happens to be a good size for the shelf at the bottom of this cabinet. And I want to cover it in fabric, but I really don't like sewing, or sewing really doesn't like me, whichever. So this is going to be a no-sew project. As for supplies, you'll need a box, and obviously any box will do. You'll need fabric, some cabinet hardware, scissors, glue, and I'll be using the Spray-On Super 77, fusible tape, and an iron for the fusible tape, and then craft paper to make a template. I did say this box was a good size, but not the perfect size. So I do need to cut it down to 7 inches so it fits on my shelf. And I'm gonna be a good girl and I'm gonna measure and try to be precise, that should be my New Year's resolution. I did it! I still have all the original packaging. Maybe I should get rid of that. My box is ready to be wrapped in fabric. Well, not just yet. I have a few other steps to do. Maybe I should actually try to see if it fits. Because we know about my lack of measuring skills. Oh, that fits perfect! Oh, yeah. My next step is to figure out where I want the poles and to make little holes for them. So let's do some more measuring. I really should pick tasks that require no measuring. It's so much easier when I ask Ralph to do this. 12 and 1 line. Yeah, that's my middle. So I like them 8 inches apart. Let's mark that off. So I'm as measured out as I possibly precisely could be. So I'm gonna make my holes. Now that I've made my holes for the poles, I can move on to making my template. Now there's 2 reasons I'm making a template. First and most obvious is because I'm terrible at measuring. This template is like a sewing pattern, so it's gonna help me cut out my fabric correctly because I I'm just not great at measurements and cutting straight and all of that. And the other reason is also, it's going to help, as I'm working through making this template, it will help me figure out the best method, the best way to put this together. I'm going to start by drawing the base of the box. Now I'm going to draw in with ticks where the flaps will go, or where the flaps should be. The template is done, and here's my plan. The front and back are the same, and the 2 sides are the same. I'm going to bring up the side and tuck in the flap, and then the cut edge will be exposed. But then I'll bring up the front flap, and the extra material will hide that exposed edge. Then I'll just repeat this for the other side. I think it'll work. My template is a little short, so I'm going to add some paper to make it the exact size I need to cut out. I decided to make the side flaps 10 inches long. Like I said, you might not need to do this, but I need a template to follow because I'm terrible at measuring. I usually skip this precision part and just eyeball everything, and then get mad about the results. New year, new me? Maybe? My template is done and it fits, so I'm ready to cut it out on fabric. This is the fabric that I'm using. It's the same fabric that I used on the bench that I made underneath my desk over there. So if you want to check out that video, it's linked somewhere here. So I'm ready to get my fabric cut out. So it looks like I might have to make my flaps a little bit more narrow, but I should have enough fabric that way. So instead of this being 10 inches, maybe I'll have to do 9 on each side. But I think I can do it. Well, the boring part is done, and now on to the fun part. I really find like measuring and cutting, that's just really boring. Now I get to put it together, and that's the fun part. First, I want to seam my edges, just the part that is going to be on the side of the box. I just want it to look pretty. So instead of sewing, I'm going to be using this seam to seam. Ironing is way more fun than sewing. So peel it on and then stick to the edge of the fabric. Now peel off the backing, which we know is the hardest part already. I just did it on the wrong side. See if it'll let me take it apart. Fast, 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 fast. This is the right side. So what I meant to do was flip this completely over, and let's start all over again. Okay. To avoid sewing, and because this is such thick material, I'm going to seam it with the fusible tape. Put it on, cut it to length. I like to heat it a little, and I treat it like it's iron-on vinyl, I guess. My parchment paper. And I'm just gonna take off the backing, which is white, and the glue is actually just clear. There we go, that's off. I'm gonna heat a little bit of the side that I'm gonna fold it onto. Fold it over. And now what I need to do is press both sides, so this side and this side, for 20 seconds. I don't need the parchment paper now. Here we go. And it's fused, so I just have to do it to the other corners. All the edges are seamed, so I can move on to actually gluing this together. So let's see what it's gonna look like. Okay, so it fits. This is what the sides will look like, but I need to actually adhere, like attach the fabric to the box, and I'm going to be doing that with the Super 77. And since it's pretty cold outside, I'm gonna do that in the basement. All right, we're in the basement. I've shaken my pan very well, and I'm gonna take all my clips off. I'm going to spray the fabric instead of the box, and then I'll put the box on and fold everything over. So spray first. Next flap. I've noticed that the glue has dried a little, so I'm gonna add some more. Now I'm just gonna let this dry before I attach the handles. My little knobs here. Oh, way better than sewing. Good job, Super 77. Time for the final touch. This is definitely dry. Well, dry enough at least. So I'm gonna take the clips all off. And I don't think I need to add any more glue to the fabric. It's just staying on its own. This Super 77 is so good. Oh, it's like the spray version of E6000. So, so good. Okay, but time to add my little holes, these little guys. So I did make the holes earlier, and so all I'm going to do is just go back in and just pierce from the inside. It's probably easier. Oh no, I did it. There it is. Ta-da, see? I went all the way through. Here's my hole. And there you are. There we go. And now let's do the other one. I even remembered to line it up so it's like in the middle, sort of like the pattern's in the middle. Actually, I forgot. You can see it in the hyperlapse. I forgot, and then I remembered and did it. But it's ready to go on the shelf. Let's see how it looks. The box took me a day to make, and that includes recording. And recording just makes everything so much longer. I mean, come on, I have bloopers all the time. So realistically, this could take, I think it should take less than 2 hours. And that's due to using the right products. The fusible tape and the Super 77 spray glue, whew, that's what made this so quick and easy. Now all I have left to do is fill the bin and organize this cabinet. So for many more DIY projects coming up in 2023, consider subscribing to my channel. And let me know if you would upcycle your cardboard boxes or put them in the recycle. I'll see you soon with another project. Ta-da! The box fell over. I want to... Okay. And happens to be a really good fit for the last... No, there's not last. There's only one. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. No. Gosh.